everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Ayu Lestari. My name is 1932-9007. So here, my speech is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as an advocate for the disabled community. So the first, stories of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have been narrated from various perspectives. Some depict him as a warrior, an ideal husband, a good leader, while others, especially Islamophobists, depict him as a pedophile and a terrorist. In this short piece, however, I would like to take a unique approach by shedding light on how important for Prophet Muhammad SAW is to people as an individual with disabilities and to other Muslims with disabilities around the world. Work hard to ensure that people with disabilities were catered for and were given their rights and privilege, including the right to a normal life just like anyone else. The Prophet transformed the lives of the disabled people by teaching the society that there were no stigmas or bad attitudes for those with disabilities. He emphasizes that disability itself cannot affect the individuals if they have strong faith or iman. He reassured the disabled that their disabilities are not punishment, but it is a means for their sins to be forgiven. The Prophet said that every time a Muslim is faced with a calamity even hurt by a sinful thought, he or she would have his or her sins forgiven. Prophet Muhammad SAW gave the disabled people a higher self-esteem and erased their sadness, misery, and lack of confidence. He always reminded them that verily God does not look at your bodies or to your face, but He looks at your heart. Hadis riwayat Muslim. The Prophet stood for human rights and abolished discrimination based on disability, which was prevalent during pre-Islamic times. He, for example, appointed one of his companies by the name of Abdullah ibn Maktum, who was blind, as a caller for prayer, and in the city of Medina when the Prophet had to travel outside. As far Abdullah's blindness was not an obstacle in his ability to carry out his responsibilities. Through this example, the Prophet taught humanity that disabled people should not be looked down or belittled because even though they have certain disabilities, they are capable of performing good actions and contributing to the community. One of his best companies was Julaibib, who was deformed in appearance and sore in hate, while Julaibib was shown by the society. The Prophet befriended of him and raised his dignity. His love toward Julaibib was so much that the Prophet even said, "This man is from me, and I am from him." The Prophet's human gesture was a powerful demonstration of the principle of inclusion. It was a dramatic act of advocacy in words and actions on the part of community leader to educate his society about the significance of accepting and accommodating others for what they are and honoring those who others may have pushed aside in community. The Prophet also accommodated the needs of those with disabilities. As an example, for those who were not able to perform daily prayers while standing, they could perform them by sitting down. And if they were not able to do so, the Prophet allowed them to pray while lying down. The Prophet also said, "The one who recites the Quran with difficulty, stammering,